Hey friends, welcome back to the channel with more Westworld. This is season 1, episode 4, and we've got a lot of moving balls in the air with this show. We have Bernie, traumatized over the death of his son, talking to his ex about it. He's also very fascinated with Dolores and how she's kind of not totally adhering to her protocol, and instead of shutting it down, he's so fascinated that he wants to see where it goes. So we'll see how that works out. We've also got Dolores bucking her protocol or hearing a voice inside her head that gave her permission to use that gun. I theorize that it was possibly Arnold's voice giving her permission to do that, or it's also her own voice. We talked about that with Ford and Bernie about the bicameral mind. I think that's how you say it. And we also have Ford's new storyline, which is super interesting. It's basically Teddy versus Wyatt so far, and I believe that this is just the surface level stuff, because he was like laughing at Sizemore for giving all of this like action oriented, really like just over the top action kind of thing. Meanwhile, so far what we've seen from his new storyline is just action oriented as well. So I'm sure there are a lot more parts to this new storyline that we just haven't seen yet. And yeah, I'm excited to find out what that is. If you guys want to watch the full reaction, or you want to check out episodes a week early, you can check out Patreon in the link in the description below. Otherwise, let's get started.
What happened next?
Then they killed them. And then I ran.
You shot someone.
Everyone I cared about is gone.
I can make that feeling go away if you like.
Why would I want that? It's all I have left of them.
That's very similar to this exact same sentiment he had about his son.
There's something I'd like you to try. It's called the maze. The goal is to find the center of it. If you can do that, then maybe you can be free.
So the maze wasn't for Ed Harris. Is this being free mean gaining sentience?
Thank you.
So they pulled her out while they slept or something? That feels really weird. Oh, there's some static.
Or they move from gambling and whoring to sins that are more costly to repair.
Whoa!
Something in your eyes.
She's remembering all of this.
Got another bullet fragment to remove from her abdomen. Huey wants her back on the floor now. Patch her and get her on the guard.
Mostly it's the tip of my tongue.
Very sloppy. She's feeling the pain associated with that. Has she hit something down here already? Oh! Ooh!
This whole world is a story. I've read every page except the last one. I need to find out how it ends. I think we found our snake after all.
Oh. Is this
Where, may I ask, are you headed?
Hector Escaton's, no, it doesn't seem like it.
Got enough men.
Seems like you got a couple positions open.
It's a lovely town. Is this your home? Well, where are you from?
Same as you.
I think she remembers. Where'd she
I
go?
heard a girl went missing from Abernathy Ranch.
I'm not going back.
Oh, just helping a lost traveler.
She's not lost, she's with me. I guess I figured they kept you in zones or on paths.
What?
Sometimes I feel like something's calling me. Somewhere beyond all this.
Oh, I know that feeling, Dolores. I know that feeling.
Huh. Is this after she shot that one guy?
You alright?
I just gotta chill.
I'll ride at dawn. I'll go get whatever you want out of that prison and bring it back myself. I want the story behind your tattoo.
What's your interest in it?
You ever heard of a man named Arnold? You could say he was the original settler of these parts. He created a
Guess you could say
world where
that.
you could do anything you want. Except one thing. You can't die. And Arnold went and broke his own rule. He died right here in the park.
No thanks. He's gonna go for it though. Oh, never mind. Oh yeah, he took it.
Because if you did consider your choices, you'd be confronted with a truth you could not comprehend. What if I told you I'm here to set you free?
The only fool I see is the one standing right in front of me. Deputy, you have there in your custody the most wanted man in 3 territories. Heard you slipped the rope. Dropped some damn good men in exchange.
The way he tells it, he's more partial to a firing squad.
I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Maybe someday.
Hector Escaton?
You know, you always seemed like a market-tested kind of thing.
It will be a few more days before my friends show up.
3 days, normally. I'm afraid I don't have time for that.
Oh, what?
Step lively, Hector.
Ooh. Same thing as last time. Same thing as last time.
Motherfucker.
A word of advice. That thing you're looking for, you're never gonna find it in that safe.
He's always talking to them like he knows, like he's not playing the role anymore.
I was 7 when they rode into my town. They killed everyone, women, children, even the animals. Every one of them I tracked down, I used their blood to paint my skin again.
Wow.
Only one man left. The head of the snake.
He has many names. And most know him as Wyatt.
Wyatt. Ah, I realized that like the very last second, just before she was about to say it. Something you recognize? Oh.
What does it mean?
Don't waste your breath, lady. That thing's part of their so-called religion. Ain't none of them
Religion.
gonna tell you nothing about that.
I think he rides with Hector.
Is that the one they say lives out with the savages?
That's the one.
Her demeanor changed.
Tomorrow I have to talk to Ford.
Why?
He's creating chaos in the park.
Best to not show him you're nervous or defensive.
I have nothing to be defensive about.
Then don't cross your arms.
So sexy being compared to a frightened beast.
There. That's the posture you're looking for.
Sometimes, despite your best efforts, you can actually be quite charming.
Despite your best efforts.
You don't like this place very much, do you? I've seen many of you come and go over the years, and I can tell the ones who enjoy their time here and the ones who don't.
I came here once as a child with my parents. I think we even sat at this table.
It's not a business venture, not a theme park, but an entire world. We designed every inch of it. In here we were gods.
Unsettling.
This is the table I sat at with my parents. This is the chair I sat in.
I do hope you will be careful with Bernard. So I will ask you nicely. Please, don't get in my way.
Feels definitively like a threat. What?
I'm not the sentimental type.
I'm not going to get myself killed.
Don't think I didn't notice that distinction.
Whoa.
Teddy.
Oh, damn.
I should have guessed.
I couldn't even recognize him.
El Lazo, he'll pay you twice what the marshals will, and if you cut me loose and give me to Pariah.
Listen to me, you low-down piece of dirt. These men won't be.
You just shot an innocent man. No, he's a robot, just like her and just like Slim here. Except that Slim works for El Lazo. Mark, your bullshit mission led us right to an Easter egg. Well,
Oh, no.
Oh, don't you dare. See?
Ooh.
This is gonna be fun. Now we're each gonna have one.
The thing you're looking for isn't in that safe.
Well, hello there. I want to talk.
Now, my lovely friend, what deal is it you want to make?
I want to know about this.
You've seen this?
What is it?
The man who walks between worlds. You were sent from hell to oversee our world.
I thought I was crazy. But I got shot. Here. I want you to cut me. Right there. Ah! Go on then.
There it is.
Open up, Escaton, or we'll fire.
And that none of this matters.
She's right. Damn, she figured it out. Oh, but then she's gonna die and she's gonna have to figure it out again, right? Unless she has subconscious memories of this happening. Oh my god. This is intense. Don't touch your face, guys, like I am doing. I did wash my hands before I watched this episode. So. Oh, the coronavirus is going crazy. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. So many crazy things happening every single episode. Oh, Maeve's storyline just gets more and more interesting, and I mean, she's a great character too, has a lot of great lines. The interaction between her and Clementine, ever had something on the tip of your tongue, but the harder you try to remember it, the more it slips away? Most things that touch the tip of my tongue, I'm happy to forget. Yeah, she gets a lot of great moments. She remembers those people in those hazmat suits. That was really cool to see, and then she was drawing it, and then to have her find a place to hide it, only to see so many more of her own drawings. That was so good. Remembering the bullet embedded in her, asking Hector all these questions about them. The natives call them Shade, and they travel between the real world and the underworld. Yeah, remembering being shot, having no scar, and then carving it out of her own damn self. Like realizing that nothing she or Hector does matters because they're just gonna get rebooted, similar to a different show I finished watching not too long ago. But yeah, she's gonna have to figure all this out again next time, but each time she'll have more and more memories that are under the surface. Definitely feels like the staff at Westworld isn't paying enough attention to her. They don't really understand what's going on. And I have to wonder if she's the only person who's ever been rushed out before fully getting rid of all the bullets in them or any like body abnormalities. And I'm curious who has the most unremoved bullets in their body. Is it Teddy? He seems to have died or nearly died every single episode so far. So, and we had Abernathy couple episodes talking about visiting such revenges on them. So if anybody has an axe to grind, it could be Teddy, provided he starts remembering things to the level that Maeve does. But yeah, the rest of the episode was really great as well. I love the part when Bernard asks Dolores if she would like to forget the pain of her family dying, and she says essentially the same thing Bernie did about his son, that the pain is all she has left of her family. And she talks about how something is wrong and she wants to be free. And Bernard responds that if she can find the center of the maze, she can be. So that makes it sound like they can gain sentience by reaching the center of this maze. And that's why the maze is not for Ed Harris. But then why is he looking for it in the first place? Is he going to try to do that? Is he going to try to help all of these people, or all of these hosts, try to gain sentience? It seems that way because of what he said to Lawrence. He's saying, like, he's here to set him free. What if I'm here to set you free? Yeah, before it also said the goals of the park don't align with giving them sentience, and even if he was doing it secretly, I don't think he clued Bernard in. So Bernie wouldn't be privy to that knowledge that the maze gives sentience. I don't know. It's confusing. But yeah, later when Lawrence threatens to kill Ed Harris, he replied, "Maybe someday," which he'd only be able to do that once he gained sentience and free will and overrode his own programming. So yeah, I feel like we're going to be grappling with what freedom is on this show for a while now. But also, maybe someday. Last episode, we learned that someday might not ever come, when Teddy was talking to Dolores about someday leaving. So who knows? But yeah, Dolores wakes back up with William and Logan and is taken along for a bounty hunt. Definitely feels like Billy is a little sweet on her, or at the very least, he enjoys her company. And Logan, in the meantime, realizes the park is monitoring everything and brought Dolores to Billy so he'd finally start caring about something in this world. And says that he wants his company to raise their stake in the park. So yeah, everyone's under an insane amount of surveillance. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out in the future. But yeah, that scene where they go get the bounty was fun. He's like, ooh, upgrade. Logan was. And yeah, really felt like a video game in that moment. Like Borderlands set in a Western theme park. So Logan happens to recognize the bounty leads into some sort of secret side mission, which could be really interesting. But he also threatens to shoot Dolores to try to speed this whole situation up. Billy then threatens to kill the bounty. It's a whole thing. Can you please stop trying to just kill or fork everything? And Logan convinces Ed, So Logan happens to recognize the bounty and the fact that it leads into some secret side mission, which could be really interesting. But he threatens to shoot Dolores. Billy threatens to kill the bounty. It's a whole thing. Can you please stop trying to just kill or fork everything? And Logan convinces Billy to go with him with a line I thought was very appropriate. Come on, go black hat with me. And I did theorize that the black hat and white hats had some symbolism back in episode 1. Because, yeah, the people who wear black hats seem to be playing this game a little more evilly. No reminder needed that Ed Harris wears a black hat as well. But Dolores also has a line later about her father telling her that a lost steer would find its own way home, and it's like a 50-50 chance. Never occurred to her that they were coming back to be slaughtered, which we were talking about how the Judas steer in the first episode leads everyone else in a particular direction. I'm still trying to figure out who that is. It seems like Dolores was going to be the one, but honestly Maeve is a good candidate too as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, maybe they both are Judas steers just leading different flocks? I don't know. Meanwhile, Ed Harris still dragging Lawrence's butt around, trying to get the clue given by his daughter. Finds the snake tattoo of Hector's good old pal. Agrees to help break Hector out in exchange for information on the tattoo. And essentially does it alone. Those exploding cigars seems like cheating, but it was pretty cool. And the guy who stole some from him had his face blown up when he was smoking it. That was a sight to behold. Lawrence almost got killed again, and Ed Harris saves him again in almost the exact same fashion, only to start dragging him around again. And so, yeah, she tells Hector Escaton's second in command, I forgot her name. I can't remember her name. She tells the story of her tattoo, how she fills each section of the snake up with the blood of her enemies, and that there's only the head of the snake left. The person at the center of all this is Wyatt. So he seems like he's becoming a bigger and bigger thing in this storyline. But yeah, Ed Harris and Lawrence come upon Teddy, who I didn't even recognize because of how torn to shreds he was, essentially. And he just wanted to die, like, end his suffering already, like, reset this thing. And there was also a moment earlier when one of the guests recognized Ed Harris. Like, he did good and important work at some point that helped people. But, like, he was so over that, he's like, I'm on vacation. Doesn't seem like he did it for the sake... Doesn't seem like he helped people for the sake of doing the right thing. Or maybe he did, but he changed somewhere down the line and became so obsessed with this place. Threatened to slit the guy's throat. And, Ed also mentioned Arnold as well. So he knows a lot about Westworld, given the fact that Ford mentioned that they had almost every trace of Arnold erased. But yeah, Ed Harris talks to the host as if they're hosts. Like, it makes sense. They don't really recognize what they're when he talks that way, and he's not really playing the game anymore. He's playing a different game, not the game that was intended. And he mentioned never running into Hector Escaton because he seemed like a market tested kind of thing. And he also says that Hector, by the end of it, that what he's looking for isn't in that safe. That's really interesting because we actually haven't seen what's inside that safe either. We just know that he's attempted to take it twice on this show. And Teresa learns about the stray host that looked like it was going to kill Elsie and takes over the case. Elsie was not happy about that, saying Teresa's man couldn't debug a balled up napkin. But I'm still not over how scary that was with the stray holding that rock and crashing it on its own head. Bernie winds up telling Elsie that the hosts aren't imagining things, that she is, and that the constellation the host was carving wasn't Orion, which, what could that mean? Like, I didn't take a good enough look at the carving last episode. Obviously, I know Orion's belt is the 3 stars, because that's about the only thing I can see in New York City. So, it's like the noise pollution, the light pollution, but Luke Hemsworth last episode, he saw it as Orion. Does that mean he just isn't as knowledgeable about constellations as he pretended to be or thought he was? I don't know. Teresa meets with Ford to try to talk about the situation and try to have some control over everything, but that was a really, really interesting scene to show that he's in complete control, and he says that countless people like Teresa have come and gone, and he knows literally everything about everyone in the park. I was talking earlier about how much surveillance there is, and he knew from that she visited the park as a kid to everything about her affair with Bernie. I think this might lend some credibility to my theory that there are more hosts in the park than the real people are aware of, just to spy on everybody, or they could just have surveillance cameras everywhere that... But like, why have surveillance cameras when you can spy on people with hosts that look like real people? And then Ford freezing all the hosts like that. I mean, I'd be kind of terrified of working for someone like him. I forget if I've called him unhinged before, but even if he isn't unhinged, he just has almost absolute power within the park, and that's scary. The only thing he doesn't have control over, or that he might not have control over, is the sentience that these hosts seem to be gaining. But yeah, he's gotten board approval for his project for reconstructing large portions of the park, and tells Teresa not to get in his way. And there have been a lot of people like her since he's been around. He also mentioned that the shareholders rep was already here and had given him the go-ahead. Could one of the 3 humans we've seen that we focused on inside the park be one of the shareholders, Logan, Billy, or Ed Harris? Billy would feel like a twist. He'd have to be hiding a lot, and there's literally no setup for it, so I don't think it's him. Ed Harris, I feel like could be likely, but he also, I don't know, he seems here for his own selfish reasons and not as a board rep. Logan's talk about increasing the stake in the company could be related, so I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, guys, this was a heck of an episode. Really, really enjoyed it. I'm going to give it a 9. And I'm looking forward to what happens next. I'll see you guys soon. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and if you want to watch the full reaction, you can check out Patreon in the link in the description below. And thanks. I'll see you guys next time. Bye, friends.